Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ottavia and I'm really sorry for the light, I'll say immediately, but the sun is coming in and out, and then I have a big tree here and I don't know, there's something about this light, but that's fine, no worries, it's alright. I tried to fix it, maybe it's better like this, but anyway, so June has passed, and now we are in July, which means that I want to tell you all the books that I read this month. And I read quite a few actually. Technically, from where I'm actually filming, I read 6 books, but I have 2 that are ongoing. So it might be that, you know, today is the 27th, so I have still a couple of days to finish these 2 books. So we will see. I'm gonna just once I gonna speak about those, I'm just gonna write down if I actually finish it or not, or if it's gonna move to the July TBR. So without further ado, let's just start this video showing you all the books that I read in the month of June. By the way, please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you like to see more videos like this. Okay, so the first book that I completed in the month of June was The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles trilogy, and I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, but at the same time it was still fun, especially the ending, because there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of plot twists as well. And if you don't know what it is about, the first book, which is the Kiss of Deception, is about this princess that doesn't want to get married, and she decided to escape with one of her friends, which is also her maid. She got to a completely different area, and there's 2 people that actually are following her, and one of them is a prince, the other one is the assassin. So the prince was the one that was supposed to marry her, and then the assassin is a person that is there to basically kill her. And in the first book, you don't know which is which. You know them by name, but you don't know if that person is the prince or the assassin. And that's what I liked about the first book a lot. Then, of course, the second book, you know who is who, and you just follow through the journey of this princess. There's a lot of political intrigue and lots of problems happening. And I finished this book, and I read and finished the third book. So I finished the trilogy of the Remnant Chronicles, and the third book was A Beauty of Darkness. So if you want to know more about these books, especially the Remnant Chronicles, I am actually going to post hopefully soon a reading blog where I basically read all the Remnant's books, plus also a duology that is kind of connected to this story, but it's not out yet, so whenever it's in, I'm just gonna put it down below, because it takes me a little bit longer to read everything because I have so many other books that I want to read, so that's why. And by the way, this book, the third one, I gave it a 4-star, when the previous one I gave it a 3.5, because the ending, the problem is that with these 2, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit better later, is just that the first part is really slow, and then after 40% everything comes in there, and then you'll feel really more connected to it. So that's why it was like that. But the second one, it wasn't my favorite. The third one, yeah, but I think the first one is always going to be my favorite one. Okay, the next one that I read was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I finally read it. It's been on my TBR for a few years now, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 star. I wasn't expecting to like the story as much. It was so captivating as well, and the 2 protagonists, they were so cute together, and they are like enemies to lovers, these 2, but it's about these 2 rivals that are basically trying to get into this newspaper and to become one of the columnists, and only one person would actually win. And then we follow especially her, because she decided to be a correspondent in this kind of war, that there's a war between 2 gods, and then the guy goes there. It's just so good, so much fun. I really enjoyed her writing style, and like Rebecca Ross writing style, and I can't wait to read the second one this month in July. So yes. So I decided to participate in a Goodreads challenge, which she always does it from time to time. And there's a scene on a challenge where you can basically gets bookmarks, and it's kind of like a fun thing that I like to do. But for this one, it's also quite nice for me to read different books that I would not picked up. So that's why I decided to do it again during these months. This challenge was running from the 1st of May to the 30th of June, and I completed it all. And I was missing only 3 bookmarks. So 2 I managed to basically finish it with just 1 book. And it was for the Heritage Reads and Armchair Explorer. And I read Tella, Small Fortune by Julie Leong. It's a cozy fantasy that I give it, I think, 3.5 star. Not my favorite, but I really love the concept. It's about this girl. She's a Shin. She basically tells more fortunes, but she's more than that. But she's afraid of entirely using her magic, and she travels from village to village and trying to get a little bit more money to continue this. And then she just meets 3 people during her voyage. There's two guys, and one of them is looking actually for her daughter that has been missing for a few months. So he's following this kind of bandits that he thinks that actually took the daughter, and the other guy is basically a friend of his that just going for the ride. And then we have another girl that she's a baker, but she doesn't create really nice pastries that look a little bit horrible, but at the same time, she gets to this adventure with Shin, which is, I think, Tao, her name. And what I loved about this book is that every single character actually grow and they help each other so well. There's a really beautiful friendship that creates in that, and also there's really big topics that this book actually wants to come across, which is basically racism and minority, because anyway she's Shin, so she's basically in a certain area, and that if you go to the other area, they're like, oh, you're Shin, you're different because you're not like us. So that is kind of like how is this, but for what it is, I really enjoyed it, but not my thing, but still quite okay anyway. I finally read Babel by Eric Kwong, and I actually have a reading vlog which I put down below if you want to check it out. I gave it a 5 star. I really enjoyed the writing style of Eric Kwong. I really enjoyed this story, and it's kind of the same thing of Tella, Small Fortune, because it's about racism, it's about minority, it's about colonialism as well, and it's about this Canton kid called he took his name as Robin Swift. He's been taken from Canton to come to England, and he's basically there learning translation and literature and things like that, because he's in this area in the 1800s, or like in 1836, in Oxford, and even in general, they were actually taking kids from different areas of the world so that they would actually manage to translate for the empire. And I really enjoyed it. I cried. It was one of the best books of the year for sure, and I can't wait to read more books from Eric Kwong. Anyway, if you want to know more about my thoughts, check my reading blog. And the next one that I actually read, it was part of a seasonal challenge of Goodreads. Anyway, I'm going to put everything here anyway for you. And it was a Rainbow Reads. And I read a novella that I've heard many great things about, which is called Brighter Than Skill, Swifter Than Flame by Neon Young. I've never read anything from Neon Young before. I know that she wrote other books, of course, but I didn't know anything about it, and I wanted to read something a little bit more easy, small, because it's a novella. It's not an actual book. And I actually wanted it to be more of a book than a novella, because I enjoyed it, yeah, but I don't know. Novellas, they're kind of hit or miss. Because anyway, they're not a real book. They're still a book, but not a real book that is like 300 or 400 pages. This was 100 and, like on my ebook, 122, something like that. But at the same time, it was like the ending. I think I wanted something more. I think I wanted more, because if it was just a one book, a standalone, mwah, like I would have given it like 4 star. So for this one, I give it only a 3, which is so sad. But the writing style is beautiful. I really want to read more from this author, but But yeah, it just didn't give me anything, and especially the ending, because the description and the world that we are and the concept was there, literally there. But the ending, if you kept it a little bit longer, maybe a few more pages, then I would have enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be maybe like a sad ending. Instead it wasn't. It's not a spoiler, I don't think it is. And I'll tell you what it is about. So a fiercely independent nation, or Quambao, is isolated, reclusive, and something of a mystery to the rest of the world. It is rumored that there dragons are not feared as is right and proper, but instead loved and worshipped. Yeva, hopefully I said the name correctly, is perhaps a strange emissary to these people, not only because their face has never been seen in public, but because they are hero born to a birthright that makes them suited for their task hunting dragons. And so the dragon hunter must woo Quambao's queen, the Lady Soki, hopefully I said the name correctly, to understand what secret she's hiding. A woman reasonably suspicious of Yeva's intention and the imperial might of the throne she represents, Suki bears the burden of the safety of the entire people. How can she trust this strangely newly arrived to the court, a weapon forging blood and fire, to understand what her people need and how best to safeguard their future? This is a new queer Asian-inspired fantasy novella about a renowned dragon slayer who never takes her armor off in public, and is for the readers that like she who becomes the sun, which I haven't read, and that meets the Mandalorian with dragons. And I do like a Mandalorian because I'm a Star Wars fan. But it was fine. I love the story, I love the romance, but of course, because it's a novella, it's quite short, and I wanted more. Alright? I wanted more. But that's fine. I'm happy that I read it. It helped me to achieve my goal for Goodreads, which is great. By the way, now I'm going to talk to you about the two books that I'm in the middle of. So hopefully I would have read it and finished it. So the first one is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. I am 410 pages in, so hopefully I will finish. I only have this amount to finish. I'm enjoying it. Strangely, I haven't read a Jennifer Armentrout book in ages, but I'm so happy that I am back into her writing style. I was a little bit afraid to actually start reading it because it's quite a thick and heavy book. But hopefully I would have finished this one in June. If not, it's going to be in July. But it's about this maiden. They can't do anything. She can't be touched. She doesn't have a kiss. She can't have friends. She can't do things. She can't go to parties. Literally nothing. And she's quite important because she's a first maiden. So she's there to ascend with the gods and stuff like that. And she has like a maid that is kind of like a friend, and then two guards. One of the guards dies, and then it comes up the love interest, which is Hawk, which is a guy that like really tall and stuff, really good. But they met each other prior, because sometimes the maiden, her name is Poppy, she kind of goes to different area just to do some of the stuff that she shouldn't do. And the story goes from there. You have a dark one, which is part of the descendants of the bad people, and then so on. But anyway, I have a reading vlog where I'm reading this one and the one that I'm going to tell you now. So just check it out to get more thoughts and what I think of this book soon. I might have maybe this video before the other one, so we'll see how it's gonna come out anyway. But I have one, so whenever it's gonna come out, I'm gonna put in the link down below. So many noises today, I'm so sorry. Anyway, the next one that I'm 28% in is The Rebel Witch by Christy Ciccarelli. This is the second book in the duology of A Crimson Moth. And I read Crimson Moth in February, and I wanted to finish the duology to see how I liked it, because the first book, yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't, oh my god, amazing. And I wanted to continue the story. It's about this girl called Rune. And she's actually a witch, but she's also the Crimson Moth, because she decided to become a Crimson Moth, or like the name, the title of a hero, to basically save witches. Because at the moment now, this empire is all about like humans and not witches. The witches have been exterminated or still going strong. and so she's trying to get especially one witch out of the prison, and to do so and to know also where the witch is, she has to kind of befriend and maybe intrigue an important person, which is part of the royal guards, or blood guards, I think, not royal guards, blood guards, which is basically Gideon. So this is the enemies to lover like duology, and the second one kind of continues that. So we'll see if I'll finish it. That book is actually for me when I go to work, so we'll see. I'm only gonna go to work twice before the end of this month, so I'm not sure if I will finish it, but if not, it's gonna continue to the next one anyway. I'm just gonna put everything here anyway for you. And yeah, these are the books that I read, or that hopefully I will read or finish for June, since like I said, I'm not, like, June is not finished for me now when I'm actually recording this video. But yeah, these two plus a lot of ebooks, but hey, I'm happy anyway. I'm gonna actually put maybe this one, because I'm sure that I will have finished, especially this one. But yeah, I'm really excited for this June. I wanted to read more. I wanted to read more things on my TBR, but it's okay. Things happen. I'm a mood reader, so it's okay if I don't continue. Anyway, let me know what kind of books you read in the month of June. Let me know if you read any of the books that I mentioned. And yeah, like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, ciao!